the entertainment world lost one of its most promising young talents on August 2nd, 2025, when actress Kelley Mack passed away at the age of 33 in her hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. Her death, announced by her family on her official Instagram page 3 days later, marked the end of a courageous battle with glioma, a devastating form of brain tumor that attacks the central nervous system. Kelley Mack's story began in the heart of the Midwest, where she was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. The daughter of successful parents, her father a businessman and her mother a real estate agent. Kelley grew up in a family that valued hard work, determination, and the pursuit of dreams. She was the eldest of 3 children, sharing her childhood with her younger sister Kathryn and her brother Parker, who would follow in her footsteps into the entertainment industry. The Mack household was one where creativity was encouraged and ambition was nurtured. From an early age, Kelley displayed the kind of magnetic personality that would later serve her well in front of cameras. Friends and family members remember her as someone who could light up a room simply by entering it, possessing that rare combination of natural charisma and genuine warmth that makes certain people unforgettable. Cincinnati, often overlooked in favor of coastal entertainment hubs, provided Kelley with a grounded perspective that would remain with her throughout her career. The values instilled in her during those formative years, authenticity, resilience, and an unwavering work ethic, would become the foundation upon which she built her professional life. Like countless aspiring actors before her, Kelley made the decision to leave the familiar comfort of her Midwest home to pursue her dreams in the unforgiving landscape of Hollywood. It was a leap of faith that required not only talent, but also an extraordinary amount of courage and determination. The early years were marked by the typical struggles that define most actors' journeys. Auditions, rejections, small roles, and the constant uncertainty that comes with a career in entertainment became her daily reality. But Kelley possessed something that set her apart from many of her contemporaries: an unshakable belief in herself and a work ethic that refused to accept defeat. She approached each audition, each small role, each opportunity with the same level of professionalism and enthusiasm, understanding that success in Hollywood is often less about landing one big break and more about consistently showing up, prepared and ready to give everything to the craft. Kelley's breakthrough came in 2018 when she was cast in one of television's most iconic and beloved series, AMC's The Walking Dead. In a show known for its ensemble cast and the way it could make even small characters feel essential to the story, Kelley carved out her own memorable space as Addy, a survivor living in the hilltop colony. The role of Addy was more than just another character in the zombie apocalypse saga. It was Kelley's opportunity to showcase her range as an actress. In a world where survival meant making impossible choices and where hope was often the scarcest resource, Addy represented resilience and humanity. Kelley brought depth and authenticity to the character, making her feel like a real person who had somehow found herself in an extraordinary and terrifying situation. Working on The Walking Dead from 2018 to 2019 provided Kelley with more than just exposure and experience. The show's dedicated fanbase embraced her character, and Kelley found herself part of a cultural phenomenon that had captured the imagination of viewers worldwide. She attended fan conventions, participated in interviews, and experienced firsthand what it meant to be part of something larger than herself. The cast and crew of The Walking Dead became like family to Kelley, and the bonds formed during those long days of filming would last long after her time on the show ended. Colleagues remember her as someone who brought positivity to set even during the most challenging scenes, someone who could find humor in the midst of filming some of television's most intense moments. Following her success on The Walking Dead, Kelley's career began to expand in exciting directions. She landed guest appearances on several high-profile television series, each role allowing her to demonstrate her versatility as a performer. Her appearance on 911, the popular Fox drama series about first responders, showcased her ability to handle intense, emotionally charged material. In Chicago Med, part of the successful Chicago franchise, she proved she could hold her own alongside veteran actors in a fast-paced medical drama environment. Perhaps most notably, she appeared on Schooled, the Modern Family spin-off set in the 1990s, where she demonstrated her comedic timing and ability to capture the spirit of a different era. Each of these television appearances was carefully chosen, reflecting Kelley's strategic approach to building her career. Rather than simply accepting any role offered to her, she sought out projects that would challenge her as an actress and allow her to work with talented people who could help her grow professionally. Her transition into film was equally thoughtful. Broadcast Signal Intrusion, released in 2021, was a psychological horror film that allowed Kelley to explore darker, more complex material. The film, which dealt with themes of obsession and media manipulation, required her to dig deep into challenging emotional territory, and her performance was noted by critics for its authenticity and commitment. Delicate Arch, released in 2024, represented another step forward in her film career. The project allowed her to work with an independent production that valued character development and storytelling over big-budget spectacle, the kind of filmmaking that had initially drawn her to acting. Perhaps most significantly, Kelley had begun to expand her role in the entertainment industry beyond acting. Her upcoming film, Universal, scheduled for release in 2025, marked her debut as an executive producer. This transition represented a natural evolution for someone who had always been deeply invested in the creative process. Taking on the producer role demonstrated Kelley's understanding that longevity in Hollywood often requires diversification. She wasn't content to simply wait for roles to be offered to her. She wanted to be involved in creating the projects that excited her, working with writers and directors to bring stories to life that might not otherwise get told. Her work as an executive producer on Universal was something she approached with characteristic enthusiasm and attention to detail. Colleagues who worked with her during pre-production remember her as someone who was deeply involved in every aspect of the project, from script development to casting decisions to post-production planning. The role of producer suited Kelley's personality perfectly. She had always been someone who could see the big picture while also paying attention to crucial details. Someone who could manage relationships and logistics while never losing sight of the creative vision that made a project special. While Kelley's professional accomplishments were impressive, those who knew her best understood that her greatest strength lay in her ability to maintain authentic relationships and stay connected to what truly mattered in life. Her relationship with her boyfriend Logan Lanier was a source of great joy and stability. Logan, who supported her through both the triumphs and challenges of her career, was described by friends as someone who truly understood and appreciated Kelley's ambitious spirit, while also helping her stay grounded in the midst of Hollywood's often chaotic environment. The bond Kelley maintained with her family remained unbreakable throughout her career. Her parents, Kristen and Lindsay Klebenow, had been her biggest supporters from the beginning, and their pride in her accomplishments was evident to anyone who spent time with them. Her relationship with her siblings, particularly her brother Parker, who was also pursuing an acting career, was built on mutual support and genuine affection. Her grandparents held a special place in her heart, representing the wisdom and stability that had helped shape her character. Despite the demands of her career, Kelley made it a priority to spend time with extended family, understanding that success meant nothing if it came at the cost of the relationships that had always sustained her. The diagnosis of glioma came as a devastating shock to Kelley, her family, and everyone who knew her. Glioma, a type of brain tumor that affects the central nervous system, is among the most challenging forms of cancer to treat. The diagnosis would have been overwhelming for anyone, but it was particularly cruel for someone in the prime of their life and career. True to her character, Kelley approached her illness with the same determination and grace that had defined her approach to every other challenge in her life. She was open with close friends and family about her diagnosis while maintaining privacy about the details of her treatment, understanding that her battle was both deeply personal and something that affected everyone who loved her. The treatment process was grueling, involving multiple surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation treatments that took an enormous physical and emotional toll. Yet throughout it all, Kelley maintained the positive spirit that had always been her trademark. She continued to work when possible, finding strength and purpose in her creative projects, even as she fought for her life. Her colleagues and friends were amazed by her resilience during this period. Even on days when the treatment left her exhausted and weak, she would find ways to contribute to projects she cared about, whether it was providing notes on scripts, participating in video calls for Universal, or simply offering encouragement to friends and family members who were struggling with their own challenges. The support she received during her illness was a testament to the relationships she had built throughout her life. Fellow actors, directors, producers, and crew members reached out regularly, not just to offer support, but to express how much her friendship and professionalism had meant to them over the years. When Kelley Mack passed away on August 2nd, 2025, at the age of 33, the entertainment world lost more than just a talented actress. It lost someone who had represented the best qualities of her generation. Authenticity in an industry often marked by pretension, determination in the face of overwhelming odds, and genuine kindness in an environment that doesn't always reward such qualities. Her impact extended far beyond the roles she played on screen. Young actors who had the opportunity to work with her spoke of her willingness to share knowledge and experience, her ability to make newcomers feel welcome on sets, and her example of how to maintain integrity while pursuing ambitious goals. The announcement of her death, shared on her official Instagram page by her family on August 5th, was met with an outpouring of grief and remembrance from fans, colleagues, and friends. The comment section became a digital memorial where people shared stories of how Kelley's work had touched their lives, how her characters had provided comfort during difficult times, and how her example had inspired them to pursue their own dreams with greater courage. Fellow actors who had worked with her shared memories of her professionalism, her sense of humor, and her ability to bring out the best in everyone around her. Directors praised her commitment to her craft and her collaborative spirit. Producers remembered her as someone who understood the business side of entertainment, while never losing sight of the creative passion that made the work meaningful. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of Kelley's death is the sense of incompleteness it leaves behind. At 33, she was just hitting her stride as both an actress and a producer. The projects she had in development, the roles she was considering, the stories she wanted to tell, all of these represent possibilities that will now never be realized. Universal, the film on which she served as executive producer, will stand as a testament to her vision and capabilities behind the camera. Those who worked on the project describe it as deeply meaningful to her. A story she was passionate about bringing to the screen, and one that showcased her understanding of what audiences were looking for in contemporary entertainment. Her family has indicated that they plan to ensure the film receives the release and promotion it deserves, understanding that it represents not just Kelley's work, but her legacy as someone who was committed to creating meaningful entertainment that could make a positive impact on viewers' lives. While it's natural to focus on Kelley's professional achievements, those who knew her best want her to be remembered as much for who she was as a person as for what she accomplished as an actress and producer. She was someone who remembered birthdays, who checked in on friends during difficult times, who celebrated others' successes with genuine enthusiasm. She was the kind of person who would drive across town to help a friend move, who would spend hours on the phone talking someone through a personal crisis, who would show up with flowers just because she thought someone needed brightening up. Her authenticity was perhaps her most remarkable quality in an industry that often rewards artifice. Kelley was the same person in private as she was in public. Warm, funny, ambitious, and deeply caring about the people in her life. The way Kelley's family announced her passing reflected the grace and dignity that had characterized her entire life. Rather than simply sharing the news of her death, they took the time to express gratitude for the outpouring of support they had received during her illness and to celebrate the impact she had made during her 33 years of life. Her parents, Kristen and Lindsay Klebenow, her sister Kathryn, her brother Parker, her grandparents, and her boyfriend Logan Lanier had all been part of her support system during her battle with glioma. Their love and dedication during her final months provided her with the strength to face her illness with dignity and courage. The family's decision to wait several days before announcing her death publicly reflected their understanding that they needed time to grieve privately before sharing their loss with the world. When they did make the announcement, it was done with the same thoughtfulness that had characterized Kelley's approach to her career and her relationships. Though Kelley Mack's life was cut tragically short, the impact she made during her time in the entertainment industry and in the lives of those who knew her will continue to resonate for years to come. Her performances will continue to entertain and inspire viewers. Her work as a producer will serve as an example of what's possible when creative vision meets determination. And her example as a person will continue to influence those who were fortunate enough to know her. In an industry often criticized for its superficiality and its tendency to consume and discard talent, Kelley represented something different. She was proof that it's possible to pursue ambitious goals while maintaining authenticity, to achieve success while remaining connected to family and friends, and to face even the most devastating challenges with grace and courage. Her story serves as a reminder that life is precious and unpredictable, that the time we have with the people we love is limited and should never be taken for granted. It also serves as an inspiration to anyone who has ever dreamed of making their mark in a competitive field, showing that with talent, determination, and authenticity, it's possible to create something meaningful even in the space of a relatively brief career. As friends, family, and fans continue to process the loss of Kelley Mack, they can take comfort in knowing that her light burned brightly during the time she had, and that the warmth of that light will continue to be felt by everyone whose life she touched. In a world that often feels divided and uncertain, she represented hope, kindness, and the possibility that dreams really can come true for those brave enough to pursue them. The entertainment industry will miss her talent, her professionalism, and her collaborative spirit. Her family and friends will miss her laughter, her support, and her unwavering love. But the legacy she leaves behind, in her work, in the lives she touched, and in the example she set, ensures that Kelley Mack will be remembered not just for how she died, but for how fully and courageously she lived.